All right, welcome back, everybody. It's been a couple months since last time, but I think everyone kind of remembers what happened. Last time was a bit self-insert-y feeling like big talk down to everybody at the ball scene over the strangeness of how they're bigots here, but not for homophobia. They're bigots at interspecies relationships, but especially with humans. And we storm out, and we have a very long sex scene, and then turns out that the king was murdered during our sex scene. Whoops. And they're blaming us for it, because we walked in, and so we're the first person discovered with them, so they assume that we killed him right on the spot. And so now we're in prison, and at the mercy of whether or not our guy can figure something out here. I rest my head on the pillow and close my eyes, trying to think of something other than my situation or the pain my body feels. Back then, every day was the same. I would work for hours every day, and then what? Sometimes I would just sit in my room, reading a book. Other times I would visit the local brothel and try to have a night full of pleasure. Those nights were only full of temporary joy, though. Those men only took pleasure in my company because they were paid to. And at the end of the night, I was left feeling empty. It was only a little over a year ago that I was naive. I still am. In spite of what's happened, I can't help but think being sent here was the best thing to happen to me. For the past month, life has felt like it's worth living. On the road here, I reminisce on the stories I read and the songs I heard of the lands beyond Erin. It made things seem exciting and simple. Their songs lie, though. They tend to always do that. There's one thing that I can be correct in my judgment on, however. I met a gallant knight who loves me for who I am. Someone who doesn't want anything from me. All he wants is me, and I love him. And I can't fully rely on him to solve this predicament I'm in as much as I wish I could. I'll need to be able to find my own way out of the situation when the time comes. I need to play the smart. I lay there for what feels like a few more minutes with my mind jumping between thoughts. The pain in my head isn't going away either, as the time passes faster and faster. In fact, it's getting worse. Having my eyes closed at this point just hurts, so I open them. The sun has set over the mountains. Its rays shining into the sky above are just barely visible. That's the wrong it's. Gotcha. The moon is already high above among the stars, and I watch as small flurries of snow drift in through the window. Moonlight refracts through the snow, making each piece sparkle and glitter like stars. They land in a puddle on the ground and melt into the rest of the muddy water. For some reason, this visual fills me with a sense of sadness. I considered covering up the barred window with a blanket to allow for better sleep tonight, but I don't have anything to hang it up with. I don't even have the desire to sleep anyway. The last thing I need is to slowly lose my sanity in the cell after having more nightmares. Ooh.
Oh.
Hi. Ah! Another sharp pain surges through my body like lightning, causing me to sit up. A distorted, violent image flashes across my vision. My heart is racing, and despite the cold, I can feel myself sweating. I am just now catching up with, like, the design flaw, potentially, in having an external barred window with no glass in a castle that's in an eternal battle between the internal heating of the plumbing versus the external blizzard.
Yeah, the snow coming in did clue me into the fact that it is probably deathly cold in this room.
Probably not meant for humans.
He's in some sort of competitive gradient between the internal heat and the external cold, which would be resolved by having a real window or no window.
Also, little thing, before I forget, I totally forgot the plot point where he apparently used to go out and party it up with people in the brothel.
Yeah.
Reminder, our MC is 19. That was only a year ago. He turned 18. He fucking partied as hard as possible.
He hit the ground running. Insane. I suppressed a joke where I was just that I paused for an awkwardly long time because like, you leave the brothel feeling empty. My heart is racing, and despite the cold, I can feel myself sweating. There it is again. Standing up after another bolt of pain causes me to panic. Something must be terribly wrong. I have to call for help. There should be a guard at the end of the hall, I guess.
Am I finally getting through?
Oh, it's the weird internal voice. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there was a sound that we were hearing that I remember. Jericho, you postulated that the sound was the dead corpse, like releasing air, which I'll never forget. That's a truly horrifying, because it probably would make some kind of a sound.
Yeah,
think about that.
Yeah.
But no, it's this.
I also forgot my Fugi was turned off, and I got it. All right.
Great heavens above! That took years.
I stop on my tracks, and my eyes widen. At first, I think that's someone outside of my cell talking to me, but hello? Nobody's there. The voice sounded as if it was echoing in my head. It's the monitor. No. My body fishes. My body finishes tensing up, and I feel a chill run down my spine. Am I dreaming? No, this isn't a dream. There's just something about it that feels different. It feels strange. Another horrible shock of pain slithers through my nerves, this time causing me to collapse onto the bench, similar to last night. My vision is slowly fading, but so does everything else. The sound of wind. The sound of the musty cell. All of my senses have been shut down. Am I dying? Am I dead? No. I'm entirely sure that if I was dead, either something or nothing would have happened by now. Right now, I'm just floating. If this was the afterlife, being trapped alone with my thoughts surely would send me over the edge. I must be dreaming again. But nothing's happening. For the briefest moment, I feel and think nothing. It's pure bliss. So somebody likes warm showers.
Mm-hmm.
The bliss of feeling nothing.
Wow.
This edible ain't.
I like this music.
Yep, the music's on point as always.
Suddenly, my vision is flooded with bright colors. A vortex spirals ahead of me, spinning rapidly and constantly changing. There are colors I've never even seen before. Wind blows in my face and causes my clothes and hair to flow behind me in a chaotic fashion. The hell is going on? Usually my dreams aren't this crazy. I look down at the ground and realize that there isn't any, which causes me to fall to my knees in shock. Whatever I'm standing on seems like a thin sheet of glass, but it's too perfect to be anything like that. It's as smooth as silk and seems to run like water. A shimmering mist flies out from behind me where my legs touch the ground. It's not unlike how a ship leaves a wake as it cuts through water. My hands press into the glass firmly and it feels cold. It's not painful though, and no matter how hard I press my hands into it, they won't sink beneath the surface. I consider this a good thing, though, because on the other side is a chasm of spiraling colors. I slowly get up and stand on my feet. The wind is howling in my ears and there's a bright light up ahead, so bright that it hurts to look at. Along with the sound of the wind is echoing voices and noises. Some sounds that are familiar, others that I've never even heard before. Bright embers that resemble stars float down from above, and fly behind me at high speed. I look behind me, and it's the same as in the front. An endless chasm of tints and tones spinning like a whirlpool. Chills run down my back, causing me to physically shiver. This is beautiful, yet terrifying. Nobody is here from what I can tell. That doesn't stop me from calling out, though. Hello? My voice echoes down the tunnel, repeating everything back to me as if mocking me. Is anyone there? Again, nothing but my own voice answering back with the same phrase. Amidst the mockery, there's another voice.
You seem awfully calm.
Does he?
Usually, most spend their first few moments either throwing up or shouting into the void with terror.
It's that voice again. Where are you?
Over here. Ooh.
I wasn't wrong.
No.
I turn to face forward and I have to strain my neck to look up. Before me stands a creature of large size, shrouded in bright, iridescent flames. I alone would have to stand on Lyle's shoulders in order to be at eye level with them. Their fur is also shrouded in unnatural dark shadow, completely unaffected by the blaze of flames behind them. Each tuft shines and refracts in the light like a perfectly polished piece of flint with teal sparks flying off. It's a mesmerizing and terrifying sight, and I sense a powerful energy coming off of them. 6 arms come out from their upper torso, each one looking different from the last. Not only that, but there's also 2 tails. Their teal eyes pierce into my soul, but have a soft look to them. The last thing I notice is a shimmering green crease running across their pectoral, along with the glowing crest of Tygren on their belly.
This part never changes, though. Are you done staring?
I'm DTF. Their voice is
Honestly.
masculine and strong, but has a mellow tone to it. Like, you just haunted the wrong monster fucker. Not as threatening as their physical appearance. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You'll have to forgive me. I'm finding it hard not to. I mean, how do you not stare? Not only when you see a thing you've never seen before, but also it's on fire, but also it's a void. So you're literally like, I can't see you. So I'm gonna try harder to tell what I'm looking at. One of their sets of arms cross, and the other set places their paws firmly on their hips.
You're not the first. All is forgiven.
The sparks from the flames on their back fly by my face, but if any are landing on me, they certainly don't hurt. Am I dreaming? There's a dreadfully long pause before they answer.
It's complicated, but no. This isn't a dream, Richter.
You know me?
Of course. I know a lot of things. Most of it is useless, but it has its moments.
They talk a lot. 37 visits to the brothel, exactly. Interesting. Almost like a child talking to an adult in a very fast manner. Am I dead? This time they answer immediately.
No, you're not dead.
Then what is going on? Large. I thought they had 6 arms.
I think they're like blending into their silhouette.
Yeah.
Seagulls also
there's-
have wings.
Oh, does that count?
I mean,
Or do you just
like
mean also
anatomically.
wings? Like 6 arms, 2 wings, 2 tails. Is this a displacer beast?
A
A
what?
lot of color. It's the thing in D&D that Final Fantasy also has and called the Cohorl. It's like the panther that has tentacles on its back.
Mm.
The wind around us rushes faster, changing current in an unpredictable way. The sound is loud but not oppressive. Shimmering dust flies out from under their padded feet and blows past me like a sandstorm.
Richter, I'm going to explain this in a way that is easy to understand, but it will be shocking.
Oh, it's gonna start being shocking now.
I somehow doubt you'll have too much trouble understanding this, though.
Understanding what?
That you are a very gifted person.
You are the Avatar. What are they talking about? No, I'm not. What gift could I possibly have that isn't brothel related?
Yes, you are. He might even consider it a curse.
Sometimes they do.
That depends on how you use it.
Use what? I love when I insert a tiny gag in the line. Every line after that makes it worse than the game itself. They take a moment to answer, crossing a set of their arms.
Have you ever had dreams that seem real? Experiences that are not your own?
They hold up a paw.
Has there ever been a moment where you've been attacked by terrible headaches and sharp pains?
Yes, once or twice, but a shiver runs up my body and the legs I've been kneeling on begin to feel weak. Those are just nightmares. Richter. You've seen the future.
You've seen the past.
Yeah. That too, yeah. He magically has visions of stuff and he's not... he has to be convinced that this is happening. He's like, tested this information already. They point at me.
Is that truly what you believe? Or is that just what you want to believe?
The question sits in my ears and blocks out the noise of everything else around me. They're right. These aren't just coincidences, and deep down I've always known that. What is going on?
You have an ability. You may not consider yourself a special person, but you have a very special ability, and I'm here to guide you through controlling it.
You going to tell me what this is?
Since your birth, you have had the ability to see beyond the present. Those dreams you had were visions, Richter. Visions of the past from others' perspective.
What? That's not possible. It's... how could that even work? I think back to the horrible nightmare I had about Raynar. Was that...
You've had this ability your whole life, but over time it has weakened. The potential for this power becomes weaker with each person who inherits it. The span of time that a mortal has been able to inherit it has increased to just above 100 years. Most of your race has likely forgotten about these individuals. You're only just now having clear visions, but you're not able to control them. That is why I am here.
My head feels light and the feeling in my feet is completely gone. Who are you?
You don't know who I am yet? This was expected. To your people, I am known and named for many things. The Creator, the Supreme Being, I've even been referred to as a demon on more than one occasion. But I am simply the one who built upon the foundation of this world. The one who guides everything, yet has no control.
Tygren. A short pause follows after my outburst, before they respond.
What?
The wind begins to slow down, becoming a light breeze, and the colors around us slow down, like a wheel on a cart. You're Tygren, aren't you? The god that created our world? The one who our continent is named after. The wake of dust flying out beneath us is now a gentle cloud of sand. It's relieving to not have just the sound of the wind in my ear anymore, but now this area feels empty.
Yes, I am Tygren. I am the god of your world, but here I am just a guide. You hold almost as much power here as I do.
And this form you've taken is a trick?
Ooh.
Hello. Those are the other arms. Mystery
A trick
solved.
of the light.
Before me now stands a tiger, vibrant and strong with glowing green eyes. But they're not just a tiger, though. Their form is made up of 3 different animals from what I can tell. The second animal is some sort of reptile. Looks like a snake from the tail, but I could be wrong. The last animal is a bird. Large winged hands that are as yellow as honey sprout from beneath their other set of arms. They're completely naked, but have no reproductive organs.
How did you know I was your god?
Because you're wearing your name tag.
Most don't figure it out that fast, especially not the non-religious ones.
I haven't been to a place of worship in years, but I remember your form being that of a chimera. I also recognize that symbol on your torso. I said this lightly, pointing to the triangle on their belly.
Interesting. And I thought you weren't able to keep a level head in dire situations.
Ow. They chuckle to themselves, each belt booming throughout the cavern. It just came to me, I suppose. Now, if it's okay, I'd like to take up more of your time by asking some more questions.
Time doesn't pass here.
So every question.
I love his, sassy, nail care emoji right hand. Well, for me it doesn't. But if you come here unconscious, then it will.
So I am asleep. Is this the heavens? Afterlife? They shake their head.
No. The afterlife is a completely different ordeal.
This is my VR chat world.
Something I won't explain to you. It would end up being a burden.
They raise a hand.
This is your mind's eye. The place where you can transcend time and body.
They gesture around with their arms.
It's your sanctuary.
My sanctuary? Why is it so calm now?
It is yours. It will react to your emotions and your thoughts.
I studied the way the walls of this tunnel move slowly. Almost as if they're barely moving at all.
I've never seen it get so calm this fast.
I walk up to one of the curved walls of the chasm and run my fingers along the side. They cut into the wall, and on the other side are more layers of light. Dust flies off my hands, similar to the floor. I've had a lot to stress about lately. I'm all out of room in my mind to fret about this, especially since I don't know what this means for me yet. They put on a quizzical expression.
What this means for you?
I know you're doing your best to explain this, but it's a lot to take in. Along with that, my mind tends to wander a lot.
That's okay. This isn't something that you could comprehend in a day.
Take this rainbow Adderall.
Not only that, but I am a bit restricted.
Restricted? They raise a hand to their chest and run a finger along the glowing scar.
Punishment from the higher gods.
Tygren's scar? I remember that the mountain range northwest of Erin was named for religious reasons, but didn't think it was that important.
Yes. It stops me from giving away too much information to mortals. Past events caused great chaos and has left me punished.
You can share your wisdom with me, but not direct knowledge. They frown.
Yes. The collective knowledge of this world is something you will have to attain yourself. It is not something I can give you.
All the collective knowledge of the world? That can make someone extremely powerful. But something feels off. There must be a catch. Earlier you said this was a curse. Something that could either help or burden me. Their eyes brighten, and I can see they've been eager to have this brought up.
That I did. This ability is extremely powerful. The higher gods sometimes question me for bestowing it.
Their tails swish as they scratch their chin with a tiger paw.
But the world needs someone to act as their guide. Guide them toward a brighter future by making sure the mistakes of the past are not repeated. This power should only be used for the greater good. Any avatar who uses it for selfish intentions is punished, and the cycle grows weaker.
The breeze around me sends a chill up my spine as I say this.
So I'll ask you this one question. I ask it of everyone.
Everything around me slows, even the mist becomes beneath my feet.
If you could see any event from the past and any event from the future, what would they be? And answer truthfully. I'll know if you're lying.
If I poke the triangle on your belly, does it let me play Simon?
Can you be my boyfriend?
Do you giggle like the Pillsbury Doughboy? I look down at the ground and attempt to think about this question hard.
This is always so much fun.
I guess I'll start with the first. If I could see any event from the past, what would it be? To be honest, the first thing that comes to mind is what I've been questioning for the past day. Who killed Raynar? Is that selfish, though? No, I don't think it is. I want justice for our king. This isn't just to save myself. This isn't about me. But what would I do if I could see the future? Tygren didn't mention being able to see the future. Maybe it's a trick question. I'm ready to answer.
Good. Go on.
If I could see anything in the past, I would want to see who murdered our king. Not for the safety of myself, but for the justice of his kingdom.
An interesting answer. And about the future?
I gather my thoughts and continue. The future is more difficult. The possibilities are endless, and there's no event that is set in stone. But in a theoretical sense, I suppose I would wish to see a tragic event before it happens so that I can prevent it. Tygren bites their lower lip with curiosity before responding.
That's a unique response.
That seems like it'd be a high score in Family Feud.
It isn't the first time I've heard it, though.
They step back.
Thank you for answering my question. You have provided me with great insight.
Drew Carey's like, show me preventable misfortune. Boom, 95. So it's true then. They stop in their tracks and look down at me. Can I really see the past? Is it really possible for me to figure out who killed my king? They rub their chin with one of their hands and look at me with a concerned gaze.
Yes, it is possible. But you will need to train. Right now, your experience only allows you to see distant memories. And this has only happened once, or only happened because of certain triggers.
Hearing them say this reminds me of how I had that vision of Alana's death right after hearing about it. That happened 10 years ago.
Anything recent would be harder to grasp. A twisted memory of the past.
They sigh.
For the past month, you've been becoming your own person more and more. No longer are you an onlooker or a passerby. You finally removed your mask.
Okay.
We will speak again.
How?
I have a feeling you already know.
I don't know what to make of you finally removed your mask, because he didn't, like, come out, or, like, he's still just mostly sitting in his room, and he didn't, like, have a big secret identity he was holding back exactly. And with that, their figure slowly fades away, the light behind them refracting through their body like glass. At first I'm lost, not knowing what to do next. but then I feel an empty pain in my stomach. I can feel my eyes physically gleam with light as everything around me closes. I hear one last thing before I'm enveloped in comforting darkness.
Your eyes can see beyond the horizon, beyond the skyline. Use this.
My eyes can't even see out this window. I'm back in the cell. My head is leaning up against the wall and my body is sprawled out on the stone bench. My body feels completely exhausted, but not in a sleepy way. Was I dreaming? I lift myself up slightly and look out the window. The sun's rays are still being cast over the mountain like a golden crown. Time didn't pass. Even if I only slept a wink, the light from the sun shouldn't be visible at all. So it was real. Either that or I'm crazy. Can I really see into the past? Come on, man. It would make sense considering everything that's happened. That vision that I had, where I was looking through Raynar's eyes, it was too real. Does this mean I can do it again? See back in time and figure out who killed him? I can't see how it would help me, though.
What do you mean?
Like, well, at the very least, you can put people on the right path, and you know, your boyfriend that's still outside could look into that in some way and figure out the timeline or the motivation, or if they're even still around. Not like anyone would believe me. I know one specific person. I take the ring off my finger and fiddle with it in my hands, sliding it on and off, watching it gleam in the moonlight. Focusing on objects helps me think. I see another object gleam in the light. It's a shimmering object stuck in one of the piles of straw, like it's being hidden. Walking over to it, I reach in and pull out a small shred of glass. No, it's a piece of a mirror, about as big as a spearhead. Maybe someone was going to use it as a weapon. I lift it up to my face and try to look into it to see a reflection. The shard is scratched to hell, and there's not a very clear image. My face is slightly warped in the reflection, but I can make out everything. My hair is a bit disheveled, and I look like I haven't slept in 2 days. Something does strike me as odd. I swear my eyes were green. Now that I get a closer look, they're blue. An extremely bright and vibrant blue, almost like diamonds. They were green before, I swear they were. Suddenly I think back to what Tygren said a few minutes ago.
Fine, you removed your mask.
It's more littler than I expected. Have you seen his face before to know what color his eyes were? I'm trying to remember.
Don't remember.
I'll search through the CGs real quick. I'm backseating this one.
I remember we saw him dancing from behind, which isn't helpful.
Yeah. We do get a good, he's not like a Marco. There's a good number of clear looks we get, but I can't remember if they're all still to come or not.
Maybe there's a correlation to my eyes changing color in those visions. A side effect of some sort. I placed the mirror shard deeper into the straw pile I got it from, making sure nobody would be able to see it. I've still got the ring in my hand and walk back over to the bench, sitting down on it with my back to the window. I feel stuck. Like everything that's happened so far has led me here, and now I can't do anything. My only hope is to try and see the past. I've done it before, I know I have. This isn't a trick, and I need to start believing it. Even if nobody believes me, I can try to figure out evidence. Proof that can be used against the killer. Even so, I can have some solace, and knowing that who the killer is before I'm executed. A tremble shoots up my body as I think about being walked to the chopping block. That won't happen. I'll find a way. And I'll have Lyle to help me along the way.
Live by one's wits.
There, that's what he looks like. Who was that? At first it sounds like Tygren speaking to me, but they don't sound like that. The voice is muffled and twisted, as if someone were to grab the words and wring them out like a rag, a soup rag, and yet they feel familiar, like I've heard them before. Live by one's wits. Advice, maybe? Another past memory sent to torture my mind with riddles is more likely. Makes me almost wish I didn't have this skill. I shake my head slightly and focus on the ring again. I need to play this smart. Can't go around acting like a fool anymore. This is the forest, and I'm the fox being burned out of its den. Still the wrong hits. My only hope is to find another way to tunnel out. And I'm going to need help from those that I trust.